In the twilight years of Filmation, yes, that legendary factory of limited frame power poses, the studio decided to swing for the fences one last time, and what they produced wasn't just another plastic toy commercial with a theme song. No, BraveStarr was genuinely earnest. Filmation wasn't trying to cash in on a trend, they were trying to tell a mythical story through a futuristic lens. And that alone makes it more compelling than most of He-Man, where the deepest philosophical question was usually, how can Skeletor monologue before he trips over his own cape? New tribal mysticism, creating a universe that felt both ancient and futuristic at the same time. It was weird but also coherent. A spirit guy, or shall I say Obi-Wan Force Ghost, would appear in one scene, and in the next someone would get thrown across a bar by a robot outlaw. It shouldn't work, but for BraveStarr, it did. Now, kids' shows back in the 1980s had morals, but BraveStarr had trauma. This was a series willing to talk about addiction, death, grief, corruption, colonial exploitation, ecological damage, and moral accountability. The episode titled The Price literally dealt with a child dying from a drug overdose. That's not He-Man teaches you not to litter. That's we're going to scar you emotionally, Timmy, and maybe you'll think twice about inhaling strange glowing powders. Filmation at the end of its run didn't have much left to lose, and it shows. Of all the episodes BraveStarr unleashed on unsuspecting children, tunnel of a clan of monstrous bat creatures, sharp teeth, pale skin, distorted screeches, the kind of things that look less like sci-fi aliens and more like the animated ancestors of the troglodytes from Bone Tomahawk. And no, that's not an exaggeration. Real risk, artistic risk. And it makes BraveStarr more memorable and more narratively daring than many series that had 10 times its budget. But here's the tragedy. A big reason for BraveStarr failure is due to Mattel releasing the figures 1 year earlier before the show debuted, which hindered the show's marketing access to network children's television. The movie bombed because it arrived after kids had already moved on to Ninja Turtles, and the show is suffered from being ahead of its time. Too complex, too layered, too morally intense for the Saturday morning format it was forced into. Sometime afterwards, Filmation shut down, and American animation shifted overseas, and BraveStarr became a relic, a cult classic trapped between eras. If there was ever a property begging for revival, it's BraveStarr. Think about it, a Native American lead in a sci-fi western, a world that blends cyberpunk tech with spiritual mysticism, heavy themes that resonate even more today: colonialism, identity, addiction, and exploitation. A universe aesthetically perfect for modern animation, especially stylized 2D or hybrid styles, and storylines that can handle serialized arcs instead of standalone moral of the day episodes. Imagine a Star Wars Vision anthology approach, or a prestige animated series like Arcane, but set in a neon frontier desert with spirit animals. Modern audiences would more than likely eat this up. BraveStarr wasn't just ahead of its time, it was in the wrong decade entirely. And in 2025, everything the show did awkwardly or experimentally could now thrive with mature writing, diverse creatives, and a storytelling ecosystem built for it. BraveStarr is one of those forgotten shows whose ambition outpaced its era. It dared to explore spirituality, futurism, and morality in ways that even Filmation's golden boy, He-Man, never reached for. And it blended genres like it was conducting a narrative experiment, not just selling toys. It was too big to fail, but failure doesn't mean forgotten. And honestly, there's never been a better time to bring it back.